Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We already know the identity of one of tomorrow's finalists. It is, of course, the Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan. And one of the two men currently waiting backstage will be joining him. Who will it be? Let's find out. Because it's time to cry out, let's get the boys on the bass! Please welcome, first of all, the former European Open finalist, enjoying his best ever run at the Crucible, showing nerves of steel in his quarter-final against Maguire. Here comes the gentleman, Joe Perry! And his opponent. He was the man of the moment on Tuesday with a sensational 147. Bidding for his first Crucible final. He's flying this week. That's why he's the captain, Ali Carter!
A good second. Cue frame 17, Joe Perry to break.
Everything suffers from comparison with how Ronnie O'Sullivan played yesterday, but yesterday afternoon session between these two was pretty good by any other standards. It produced 3 centuries, 2 from Carter, 1 from Perry. Pot success rate for the whole match, 91% Carter, 89% Perry. Well, that was supposed to be a shot to nothing, but Carter caught it so thin that counted another ball.
Not the sort of shot he was hoping for to start this session.
One.
Good angle now to bring reds into play, because he's got one near the middle pocket that as long as he gets plenty of power into this here, he should be okay. Now that red's going close to the middle, the white's going close to the middle, but he's okay. There was always those reds.
8.
And we're going to be available to the middle pocket.
9.
A good start, always desirable, but particularly important for Perry this morning as he resumes 2 frames behind.
Yeah, that 14th frame was a big turning point in this match. Ali Carter was in fine form. He'd won
13.
6 frames in a row, was on his way to a 7th. He'd had a break of 64, no 51 he had actually, and lost the frame on the black, and that got Joe Perry going again.
$14. $19.
Got a bit of angle. Little bit of angle there. If he can drop it in, he could just come out into the table there. Oh, he's hit it too hard.
20.
Well, it shot off the end of Dennis's line. Bad misjudgment.
Yeah, that type of shot, Clive, the cloth is so responsive. You've only just got to touch it. I mean, it really is quick, this cloth. And the players certainly are producing some terrific snooker on it. That's the way they like it.
Joe Perry, 20.
Ali would have a go at the red into the right corner pocket if this red wasn't near the back cushion behind the black. That's why he's looking for the safety.
Foul.
That's made quite a big difference. Had the cue ball not quite dropped, the next shot was going to be very awkward indeed for Carter.
Now the only thing is, if he sends the red in off the black, he may not be on the pink, so he would like to pot that directly into the pocket, and then the black would be available. Just steadying himself, and that's the best thing to do. If you're not comfortable, get up, walk away, and then get back down on the shot. Wow. That certainly opened things up.
Well, this was a very important shot. If Carter could have knocked it in, there was every possibility of a sizable or even frame-winning break.
In fact, he could have left something easier than this. When the red spread like that, Ali thought he would have left Joe right in them. There's only one red that'll pot at the moment. That's the one into the middle pocket. It's not straightforward just yet until he gets, well, the pink back on its spot would certainly help things. Now he's tried to, no, that was a clever little shot there. He tried to just nudge the black on the way past, which would have brought that into play, but he was always going to be on a red. But just if he had just flicked the black, it would have developed red and black. But if he can get on the pink off this red,
Four.
I'm just wondering if the pink's going to be tied up a little bit, because there's reds blocking it into the left corner pocket. Meanwhile, Joe's played a poor positional shot. Still got a pot on. I think the pink may be available into one of the corner pockets. Clearly it pots there. But as I say, he played a poor positional shot, cannoning the blue.
There was a lot of room, but somehow or other he picked the blue out.
If he takes this pot on, well, he's changing his mind. He was going to take the one to the right of the pink. Well, he still might do. There is a shot on. It's a tough shot with the rest, but if he stuns that red in, cannons the other red, he'd be on the pink. Now that's not a bad option. He's looking to see if he can find a gap, but I would have a go at this. He's pretty good with the rest. If he hits that red full ball, he'll be perfectly on the pink. Well, he doesn't like it.
And one reason for that is that he knows full well he should have been on something much easier.
Is he going to take that on?
Joe Perry 10.
I'm not sure whether he did try the cannon or not, but it was an option for him. Maybe he did try it and didn't just get enough on it.
Well, one of the problems there was that the potting angle was relatively thin, and it was therefore quite difficult to miss the second ball.
Well, the one that Joe's looking at is not the easiest of pots. If the white was out in the middle of the table, it's a sitter. But from this angle, it looks as if it's a comfortable pot, but it's far from easy. And he cued it very well.
1.
This is the third chance that Perry's had in this frame.
3.
Already 25 in front.
Four.
Yes, he's not scoring that many off the pots because he's finished on the yellow 2 or 3 times. As long as you keep potting them, that's the main thing. Black's out of commission still. Unless you can get to this red near the black, but it's not available.
Seven.
I don't think I've ever seen so many yellows being potted.
Well, this will be the third in this break.
I wouldn't even dream of asking you that, Clive. What's the record for reds and yellows potted? So I won't ask you that.
9.
Well, I'm glad you didn't ask me, Dan, because I don't know.
Okay. 10.
That was a heavy contact, and the fact that he's been potting yellows, he still needs a few more pots. It's took the pace out of it, which makes the positional shot now more difficult. A straight pink, you've got 3 reds waiting. I've just got to drop this in. In the middle of the 3 reds is the one he'll be on.
16.
Well, not too bad. Blue straightish to corner. Shouldn't be a problem, but the cue ball was lower than he intended it to be.
23.
So already Carter needs a snooker.
The only problem here, if he's straight on the brown, well, he might as well just pot the brown and then play the red that's next to the black. That's all he can do, because he'll be snookered on the other red. Might be able to hit the one near the pink, but
27.
no problem. Just he's having a look at that now, but the frame's fairly safe now.
Joe Perry, 27.
To leave Carter needing 2 snookers, so it looks as if Perry has reduced his arrears to 9-8. removes any lingering doubt about the outcome of this frame. Perry hasn't won it all that convincingly,
8.
but he has nevertheless won it.
9.
He needed 3 opportunities, but this will have settled him down.
16. 18. 21.
There's only been one frame in this match which hasn't produced a break of 40 or more.
25. 30.
Not that Perry would even have thought of it, but that sequence will be preserved. He puts pink and black.
36 on the frame.
Not bothered about the
Go
black.
Perry.
So Carter's lead is reduced to 9-8. Very closely matched, these two players. They wouldn't have been many people's suggestion as potential semi-finalists on their record on the circuit this season, which is respectable without being exceptional. Carter 3 last 16s in the quarter-final. Perry 1 last 16 and 2 quarters. But here they are, these well-respected members of the circuit's supporting cast, playing the match of their lives with a place in the final at stake in the greatest snooker tournament in the world. .965 seats at the home of the championship. It's home since 1977.
Thanks, Ali. Thank you. The 18th frame, Ali Carter to break.
There's a straightforward safety off the end red, but the last thing Joe wants to do is to knock the black safe. So let's see if he plays another one to get back down the table. He did. Had he played the other one, he would have pushed it straight onto the black, and the last thing the players want is to see the black going safe early on in a frame.
Carter has never reached a final on the tour, and only 2 semis. Perry has reached one final and two semis, so to be involved at this stage of the World Championship is certainly a lot more than either of them would have expected a couple of weeks ago.
And of course Ali Carter involved in a little bit of snooker history, making a second maximum break.
Yeah, and the interesting thing was that he said in his press conference that he always dreamt of doing it, but he felt that if he ever got the chance he wouldn't be able to, which showed a slight lack of self-confidence, but he proved himself wrong.
Well, the last black he knocked in that maximum break, the white was over near the cushion, and you couldn't have got a bigger pressure shot, and he put the black right in the center of the pocket. And then the celebrations were quite something, the way he reacted and the way the crowd reacted to him. It was a very special moment.
Couldn't avoid the cannon. His only aid to position from so close to the cushion was the natural potting angle, and it wasn't right to miss the green. Didn't drop too badly on the brown though.
Five. Okay. Six.
Bit of a heavy contact there. If he's straight on the black, he'd still be okay. Just depends. He can screw back. There is a red available into the same pocket. Yeah, he can screw back off the cushion and just out and leave a red. That's the angle he can screw, just past his hand there. That'll do. Well, can he get through for the black?
13.
Just has to screw it back again.
14.
Should be okay though. Only this time he's going to have to get the cannon, because they're all blocking each other into the right corner. How's your luck? Doesn't look very good.
21.
I don't think he's on a ball. He wanted to miss that red. If he hits the other two, he would have been absolutely perfect.
Yes, he did want to miss that red, but he didn't want to compromise the pot in any way by using the touch of left-hand side, which would have been necessary to avoid it.
Joe Perry, 21.
Oh, what a nudge on the ground. That's a useful bit of good fortune there. And not easy to land on a red and leave it safe. There's no red near a cushion, only the one over the left side. You can't get to that, and where the reds are bunched here, you've got to be very careful. Just needs dead weight. Is it going to reach? Is it going to reach?
Foul and a miss. Joe Perry, 4.
Well, above all, he didn't want to hit that too hard. But he got the right line.
Yeah, he's just pointing out because he could see enough of the cushion. It was somewhere near that line, maybe the first line slightly, but he just wants to land on that red. If he lands on the one to the right of it, he could leave the one that the line's on. He could leave it on.
Foul and a miss.
Joe's coming around to see
Joe
if that
Perry
one I
foul.
mentioned is possible. You see, the shot he played, if he had hit that any harder and made contact with the red, he would have left this an easy pot. So he's really better off hitting the one that's nearest the black.
This way. Joe.
That's definitely the one he needs to land on. I could have left it this time. A round of applause, but that's not the red he was trying to land on. He's left the pot.
One.
This is a very good chance now for Joe Perry.
7.
It could quite easily be 9 frames all in about 5 minutes' time.
8. 15. 16.
He won't risk going into those 2 reds. There's 4 around the pink. There's a couple of loose ones. You don't want to be playing a cannon at this stage. You could easily stick on them, so he'll forget about that. And that's even better. The one next to the pink is available.
23. 24.
Plenty of room around the pink now.
$30. 31.
Very methodical break builder when he's in close, and his close control is usually pretty good.
I think he's overscrewed this. He played for the one to the left of the 3 and just got too
38.
much pace into it. A little bit harder, and the one next to the blue would have been available. But he didn't want to risk playing the cannon there because he only needs a... Well, that's the ball that he was looking for. 68 in front.
39.
Well, no, he still needs another one.
44.
This red gives him the frame.
45. 50.
Joe Perry has done just exactly what he set out to do. Win the first 2 frames of the morning.
$51.
To get back to 9-all from 9-7 down overnight.
$57. Joe Perry, 57 in the frame.
So with that 57 break, Joe Perry levels the match at 9-all. And it was a break which arose from a snooker that Carter was in. He tried to escape a couple of times and failed, ball back, and then this happened.
Yeah, that wasn't the red, as I mentioned at the time. He wasn't trying to land on that. The crowd thought he'd got it safe, but Hawkeye will show you he was trying to just land on that, and he would have had things safe, but it was a tricky little shot, and he just didn't judge it correctly.
Joe Perry to break.
Might have a free shot here. You can take the red on to the right corner, and he'll go around the back of the 2 reds and black, and will avoid the red that's the left side of the table. That's if he gets the right connection on it.
One. Ali Carter 1.
Well, surely he hasn't left this red to the left corner. Sometimes that little roll-up shot, it can drift slightly, and he can see it, and I'm just wondering if the pink's not available, he'd have to screw back towards the blue. Test of cueing this. Oh. Where's the red going? You know, I think he's got away with this. I think he's been very lucky. Once he missed the pot and he cannoned into other balls, you would have thought he was going to leave something, but what a result he's had here. Perfectly safe.
Dead straight. Just pulled across it slightly. I'm sure he's practiced that shot by the hour, but in a match you just get one try.
1.
Didn't spot that one live. Joe obviously did. The reason I say that, I didn't see him coming around the table to look at the plant. So
3.
nevertheless, he's in amongst them.
Well, didn't mean to get into that so sharply. Intended to be above the blue.
He's just debating whether to have a go at the black or not. It's an easy blue, but he's got to get all the way around the table. He'd love to get on the red that's near the black. And the pink. Now the pink is available. The red slightly. He's got to be careful of that red. He's leaning over.
Not great though.
In fact, it might be end of break.
10.
So he's not going to capitalise on that plant he spotted.
All this because Perry didn't get above the blue a couple of shots ago.
Yeah, there he was actually having a look to see if the plant was on. So, and this was the execution, and it just passed the black. Well spotted, Joe.
It should have led to a substantial break, but it hasn't.
Joe Perry 10.
This red is a possibility. He's playing the safety shot, but occasionally you see a ball like this being potted, but with the cue ball tight on the cushion, it doesn't happen that often. He's hit it far too thin. In fact, he's brought the white back up the table and he's left the red he tried to cut in, so that's a mistake.
So, a chance to make substantial progress towards regaining the lead at 10-9. Spread over yesterday and today. Perry has won 4 of the last 5 frames.
8.
Yeah, he won
9.
the 3 opening frames of the match, didn't he? And now he's won, or he's on his way to winning 3 frames at the start of this session. He's got quite a lot of balls to pot, but he's in the driving seat at the moment.
15. $16.
I remember at the end of that 14th frame when
22.
Joe Perry pinched it and went out of the arena. Ali Carter was in his seat and he shook his head as if to say, I really missed a chance there. He could have gone 9-5 in front.
Credit to Perry though, he still had to produce a spectacular
28.
positional shot from pink for black, and that started his revival.
Yeah, you have to put that down as one of the shots of the championship without a doubt, the pink to black that he played. And then of course he went on and made a break of 127 to get just one behind at 8-7.
$35. $36.
Not much available now. 3 reds the right side of the table. One of them's possible, the other 2 are a bit difficult. These 2 on the cushion behind the pink are awkward. He'd like to get the white just to the right of where it is at the moment to leave an easy pot, but from that angle he can't do it. He'll be slightly further away from it. But he seems to be pretty good with the rest. Joe Perry.
43.
And now that I've said that, he'll probably miss this. Played perfectly, and he's got an angle to develop the reds near the cushion.
Perry has potted 3/4 of his rest shots, as has Carter.
Oh, he's played to drop in behind this one. He didn't want to risk moving the reds, and he's played it well. Look where he's placed the cue ball there. He's left himself a choice of reds, which, I mean, that is pinpoint accuracy. He's got a red to the middle, he's got a red to the corner. That was a superb positional shot.
For frame ball, in effect.
And there's the reason why he didn't want to risk the cannon previously,
57.
because you're not guaranteed to get good position if the cannon doesn't work, and that's why he played over on the 2 difficult reds. Still might sneak this in, it's a thin one now.
58. $58 in the frame. Joe Perry.
With that 58 break, Joe Perry wins his 3rd consecutive frame to regain the lead at 10-9. He's restricted Ali Carter to a mere 9 points in the 3 frames we've seen this morning.
I mean, this here, normally you'd pop the pink and just cannon the red there that's closest to the pink, but there's an element of risk with that, and Joe knew that if he played this perfectly he could get on the 2 reds, but where he put the white was, as I mentioned at the time, absolutely pinpoint accuracy. Left the choice of either reds, and that definitely was the key to taking the frame, Clive.
Yes, he backed his precision, and Perry does have very good cue ball control once he's in. Lacks a bit of power, a bit of cue power maybe, but a very steady performer.
Thanks, Ali. Thank you, frame 20. Ali Carter to break.
It's amazing the number of times the players now are leaving this pot on. They're not getting the white far enough across, so as the green would cover this type of chance. There's the long pot success, red fairly even.
Missed that on the thin side.
You know, I know someone just coughed there, not purposely, and Joe wanted to stop really, and I think that just put him off. The timing wasn't very good there.
Carter needs to make an impact soon, having totalled only 9 points in the 3 frames played this morning.
Yeah, you've got to forget about the scoreline now and just your semi-final starting from now. When that sort of thing happens, you lose 3 in a row. There's no path, or no easy path back down the table. That's why Joe's having to think about this. That's what he's looking at. Well, it kind of shows you that that's a possibility, but there's no colour available. Black's tied up. So he may have to pot himself out of trouble here. If you can't see a safety shot, you might as well go for the pot. And he was close. Oh, has he got away with it? Not quite. I thought when he flicked the red he was going to get away with that. Just watch what happens to the white here. Just flicks off the red, but the red come up with the cue ball. He needs an easy one to get going, doesn't he? I thought he would pot that, but that's a little bit of pressure creeping in now.
Perry was a relatively short range there. He'll be disappointed to have missed that. When either of these players gets in front, they seem to be over anxious to press on.
Well, it is the biggest match in their career, fighting at the Crucible Theatre to get through to the final. So you can expect, the longer the match goes on, you're going to get a few errors because of the occasion, and quite rightly so. That's the Crucible Arena there, and even the people on the back row get a good view, and that's what they're playing for. It's quite an elite club to get your name on that trophy. So 21 winners in over 70 years, Clive.
Right, and Joe Davis held it undefeated for the first 20 years, although it wasn't played between 1941 and 1945. The very first match that was ever played in the championship, two old billiard players, Melbourne Inman, as we see Carter's escape, Melbourne Inman, Tom Carpenter. Inman won 8-5, and it took a week, not because they were slow players, but because they only played 2 or 3 frames a day between sessions of a billiards match.
Well, just while this little safety battle's going on, going back, the great Walter Lindrum played at Buckingham Palace, Clive, for, I think it was George VI, was it?
Yes, I'm not sure whether it was the 5th or 6th, but he did play there. Quite a few of the old billiards players did. Now, an error, but not perhaps quite as serious an error as Carter was hoping for.
He can't get an easy starter. Well, that rhymes, doesn't it? He can't get an easy starter, Carter. But that's what he needs just to get going. Every time he comes to the table, no wonder he's scratching his head. He's got a difficult pot to look at. And yeah, once he kissed that red, Joe thought he would have left something easy for Ali, but he hasn't. Even this red with the rest, he's got quite a bit to do to get back for the pink or blue. If he's dead straight, he'll screw it back. No, just can't get going.
So Perry's mistake costs him nothing. The sort of shot that he would have potted had he been up and running and in the groove.
Good cueing there. It was just hampered a little bit. The brown was in his way, but straight down the heart of the pocket.
Perry has won 5 of the last 6 frames.
certainly growing in confidence when you knock that type of shot in.
6. 7. 12.
The run of the ball plays such a big part in the game of snooker. Joe's playing very well, but any time he makes a mistake, he seems to be getting away with it. And when that happens, and it doesn't have to make you feel good, but your opponent doesn't think too much of it. You can't beat a little run of the ball.
13.
Well, at any sport, if you get it, it makes it much easier.
With snooker, if a bit of luck goes your way
19.
with an initial shot, then you can sometimes go on from it and win the frame, whereas in a sport like tennis, you win a lucky point and you've just won that 1 point, and the next point starts from scratch.
$20.
I didn't realise you were so good at tennis. Did you almost get to play at Wimbledon, Clive, when you were young?
Well, I did play in Wimbledon qualifying a couple of times when it was a lot easier to get into it than it is now.
Having to work very hard for these because of the reds all congested around the black there. He's underhit this one slightly though. That's where he wanted the white, but he can still take this on. Where's the white? Oh,
26.
problem now though. To get on a red from this position, you'd have to, well, you'd have to hammer the blue in and somehow get it around the table. He looked a little anxious there, Joe. Thought the cue ball was going in. Now, is he winding himself up for a power shot? He is. No, surely he's not. He is. Has he missed the green? No.
Well, even if he had got the cue ball round,
31.
it was by no means automatic position on his next red.
Joe Perry, 31.
Pretty good length once again. Ali Carter faced with a very difficult situation. It looks like he's got a slight bit of angle on that red, but he's got to try and make something happen, but you could do with something easier than this. It's almost straight. The white could go in the pocket here. It was a good pot. It was a very good pot, but I did mention it was straight and he tried to just pinch a little bit.
Sometimes with a straight pot, if the object ball goes in one side of the pocket rather than the other, you don't go in off. But nothing much going for Carter at the moment.
Now then, this is a chance. He can drop this red in and he'll be on the black. And this will be the first chance really that Ali Carter has had in this session so far. And giving himself a good telling off there, but this is key now for Ali Carter. Perfect. Little cannon onto the red. Will develop the other two reds. And a chance to get back into this final frame before the mid-session interval. A frame he could do with.
The initial red was Carter's first pot for 26 minutes.
8.
It's just finished a funny little angle here, so that's why he's had to head up
9.
for the blue. And it's just complicating things slightly. Just that fraction when he played the cannon, the two reds. Sometimes the frames can go like that. You're only a fraction out either way. You can still just screw back a little bit, leave the red to the left corner.
And he could pick his angle for this red from the simple blue.
14.
I think he can drop it in and avoid the cannon on the reds there, so he'll be on pink or blue.
15.
Oh, that's terrible cueing from
Ali Carter 15.
Ali there. He wanted to be straighter on the pink, but still, that is a poor shot, and that will hurt. He's missed it by quite a way. I think he may go on the practice table with Terry Griffiths at the mid-session interval. Ali.
Very likely, but I think maybe even more valuable will be what Terry Griffiths has to say to him in terms of reassurance. Still a long way to go in this match. First to 17 wins.
Well, Terry Griffiths has been here enough times himself, so he will tell him to forget about what's just happened to get the 4 frames. You're only 2 behind, and start from now. But he's not quite 2 behind just yet.
Four.
Blue, and he can finish on choice of reds. He can play for the one that's between the black and pink spot. If he screws it a bit further up, he's got the one next to the black. So he's just looking at the scoreboard, 27
9.
in front, working out how many reds he needs. Oh, this could be a problem, because he needs to stun up to leave the red that's next to the black, and the green's hampering him now to play that little screw shot. So he's got to travel a long way around the table to get to that. And that's a poor shot from Joe Perry.
Well, it was nothing like what he attempted. I believe that he was playing with right of centre, striking to check the cue ball off the side and baulk cushions. Because the cue ball was going nowhere in that direction, nowhere profitable for him.
Yes, the shot you mentioned,
Perry,
Clive. He mishit it completely. He was playing with loads of bottom and right hand side, and that's what he was attempting, to get up to that red, and he didn't. He hit it all wrong, and that's why he reacted the way he did. Joe Perry needs red, colour red. That's a terrific shot. Nestling on this one. Played it a bit hurriedly there, did Ali. He just seemed to get down and just play the shot, and he's left one to the middle, so we'll be glad to get to the mid-session interval just to sort out a few things, and as I say, on the practice table, play a few shots.
One.
There's his red. There's his colour. And the next red secures
8.
a 2-frame lead.
Nine. $16. 17. 24.
This frame makes it 6 out of 7 for Perry from 8-5 down. Mr. Carter has scored only 24 points in the 4 frames we've seen today. Joe Perry has turned his 9-7 overnight deficit into an 11-9 lead at the mid-session interval.